Contrarians, and tonight we are live. It's Wednesday. It's the Contrarians live chat. The topic tonight, they never look worse. So let's get this started. Hey, welcome to Wednesday. We are live and it's the Contrarians live chat. Gentlemen, how are you? Nice to see you, Jamie, Todd, and of course, Martin and myself.
Nice hearing you get in some God's music there along with the Andee Blacksugar. Very cool.
Look at that. I like it that Martin is so in tune with the gods because they're a rock and roll machine.
Absolutely.
That he got it. Of course, that's a great gods track.
Yeah.
Jamie, you know that. You knew that right away, right?
I don't know the gods that well. I live in Columbus. I'm not from Columbus.
I know, but they're a rock and roll machine, so you should know that. So anyway,
they're most famous for being on Millennium Records, which was like a side thing of Casablanca. So they were kind of hooked up with the whole Kiss thing. You know, you had illustration, you had Z in the name, and they were pretty heavy, hard living guys. Absolutely.
I have one album. I'm not sure if I ever played it.
Yeah.
Which album do you have?
It's red. And there might be a triangle on it.
The one with the chariot.
That might be Mongolians, or I'll Keep You Rocking, or something.
Oh,
like
you've got a later one.
Yeah, it's probably a later one.
Yeah, I sent a message to Mr. Pardo. I said, "Why don't we look at the gods? Why don't we rank the gods?"
Yeah.
He said, "Well,
they did a 77 and a 78, and then they were gone for a while, and then they came back and had some cruddier sounding, less major label-y couple of albums, right? Mongolians and something like I'll Keep
But who's talking the gods? Nobody. Probably for good reason, but that's okay. Hey, I like that first album. The first album's great.
Yeah.
So, all right. Anyway, here we're already on a tangent. So I want to welcome everybody tonight, everybody in the chat. Tonight we're looking at, the concept is, did they ever look worse? We're looking at album covers. We're looking at photos off of album covers. Could be the inner sleeves. Could be anywhere in the album cover where the band or artist looks, well, not their best. So anyway, I'm just going to get started. I think I'll just go Jamie, Todd, Martin, and myself. We'll just loop around. And all right, let's get started. Jamie, nice to see you.
All right. Last week, I talked about Mellencamp, how cool he looks on a lot of his album covers. This one, however, I don't even own. The kid inside does not look cool at all. I remember when it came out. I think it's like his third record, but they didn't release it until after American Fool when he had success with that. And I remember when it came out, I saw it in Kmart. I was like, is that him? That doesn't look like him. It looks like he just got out of the shower or something,
and then quickly put some makeup on.
Yeah, real fast.
It's weird. It's a weird cover, though. Come on,
it's so weird. Yeah, I never even heard the album. I hear it sucks, but I don't know. But that's my first choice.
I don't know. I don't even know if it's legit. You know, weird. All right. Anyway,
second one, I'm going with. Two of the three guys don't look too bad, but one of them, old poor Geddy Lee, he had some hair troubles in the 80s. So yeah, that mullet is something out of a bad yearbook picture.
It's the beaver pelt years.
Yes. So very soon after that, he would have the long, weird ponytail, in the Hold Your Fire era.
But you know what? It's something about that particular photo because it must have been like the first day with that haircut. Because all of the Grace Under Pressure era like stage, footage, they look really cool. But
and this is a Karsh photo too, I believe, right? So this is a very expensive photo session with one of the top photographers in the world, right?
But a very cheap haircut.
Yeah.
Hey, but they look. Well, they kind of look cool.
Yeah, Alex Neil, everybody, all these guys look better in the 70s, didn't they? I mean, they just did.
Well, so. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm going to no comment.
No comment on that, Martin.
Yeah.
My third one is, I remember when this came out, and I was like, well, that's different. Queensryche on the back of Rage for Order.
They all look like they're a member of Prince's band.
Yeah.
Yes. And I was like, they're a metal band or what's the story? And I heard Can't Get Close to You. Is that the name of the song? I remember the video. I'm like, these guys are weird, man. But it's a really good album. Just that look for that one moment that they had there in history.
You've got Sheila E. and Jeff E. and Chris E. and Michael E.
I
and
was going to
Eddie
say,
E.
is that Wendy or Lisa in the middle there?
I don't know, but someone looked at a Prince album and went, "Hey, we could duplicate that."
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've never lived that photo shoot down. They just, anytime anybody brings it up, it's like, we did this photo shoot once. I swear to God.
Yeah,
It's just
a brief moment, and there it is forever.
yeah.
But it doesn't look cool or cool.
No.
I don't think it looked cool in '86.
Well,
And to be serious about it, it's also pretentious too, right? It's like they're saying we're real smarty pants. Listen to our music.
Yeah.
We are the wisest people in metal. Look at us. We don't dress metal anymore. We dress upscale, like,
well,
Right.
we have big gates on our mansions kind of look, right?
We're trying harder.
no, that's
And
no
Greek
metal
columns,
band.
apparently. Yeah.
And Greek columns.
Yeah.
That's no metal band, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, so that's your first three.
Yes, sir.
Was that
All right,
three?
cool.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So let's just take a look at the comments quickly, see who's coming in with what here. We've got Manowar. Yeah, well, Grant's already
Oh,
immortalized.
believe me,
Manowar
I've got
for us.
Mana War loaded up.
Elder is here. Logan Collins is here. Kyle. Let's see. What else we've got here? We've got Martin said T Swizzle. Reference to my review there. Let's see. The Gods open for the Outlaws. That's pretty cool. Dark Wizard Room. Orleans. Yeah, Orleans is always a classic. Maybe that's going to be coming up here. Peter Criss has an, yeah, exactly. Peter Criss has an album cover that looks like that John Cougar album. Let Me Rock You. Same kind of thing.
We could have used that. one.
Sells. So, anyways, okay, over to Todd.
All right. Todd.
Okay, everybody. Let's just get it out of the way right on top.
Oh no.
Love Beach.
Because it's coming in the comments. It always
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
Even
Well,
when it doesn't fit the topic, it comes up.
You know what's funny? I always thought that Carl Palmer was holding a cocktail in his right hand. And I always thought that was really super pretentious.
God,
but
I did
he's
too.
not. He's not. He's just holding his hand like this. So
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. It's like they took Sears catalog lessons.
He's signaling to the photographer, can you get me a drink, please?
Yeah, right. it's really hot.
Yeah.
And then the back is just like, it looks like the worst snapshot of a sunset. It's just terrible.
Yeah.
This next record I have brought up before, but and I may be the only one person that thinks this, but I just think that Hey Jude's just awful. I mean, those guys, these two look totally checked out, and these two are like, hey, we look pretty good. What's their problem? And then
Well,
the funny thing is,
that's because Paul and Ringo were still in there, but George and John were done by that point.
yeah. But there's this cool picture up there. I don't know why they didn't use that, where they're like out in the woods. It's just like on top of them, and then the back isn't any better. But
Yeah, they look kind of miserable.
yeah, and I guess this is high concept that this little statue has John's hat on, also trying to be like hypnosis light, I guess. And speaking of things that I brought up before, and I almost changed this at the last minute because I keep picking on this album, and everybody checks out whenever I talk about Chicago, but Hot Streets.
And they rarely put themselves on the cover.
And there's the
when
back.
they finally do, that's what you get.
Yeah, and then if that's not enough, you got to get the inside too. I don't know. I know that they've definitely looked better than this. I don't know if they've ever looked worse than this, but anyway.
Yeah.
I'll put
The
that
silhouetting
away
of
for
white
good
never
now.
really works, right?
Yeah.
Yesterday and today's first album, I could have picked that because they look kind of silly silhouetted in that as well. And you had the Motley Crue, and you got some disagreements from Motley Crue whether they looked cool or not. Let's see what else we got here. Joe Cocker on the cover of his with a little help with my friend's album says Sean Barnes, excellent. Metallica Load, Guy Liner and Lame Clothes. Definitely, yeah, they got a lot of heck for that. And I'll never live that one down. That's like your Queensryche moment almost. All right, so my first three, sweet Fanny Adams. So this is, This isn't actually even the worst suite ever looked, but they do look pretty bad here. It's the typical glam clothes that were put together in the 70s. I mean, they had stuff where they had Indian headdresses on and war makeup and really, really stupid looking things. But, the fact of the matter is they managed to escape through their catalog without looking too ridiculously terrible on front covers too much. So this was the one because I really wanted to just talk about Sweet. It's a great album. It's a super it's a technical, complex, interesting, well recorded, thoughtful, early heavy metal album. It's better than Desolation Boulevard. And then of course in North America we got the composite Desolation Boulevard Sweet Fanny Adams situation, but this is the better of the two, and I believe both of them came out in 74. So yeah, and they never had good haircuts either. They always had the bobs and stuff, like just weird looking hair, just weird looking dress.
Kind of like Slade Light.
Yeah, Slade is much more of a disaster. They look way worse. That's for sure. Okay, my second one is Slayer Show No Mercy back cover. So this is famous where Slayer, they experimented a little bit with eyeliner here, and it's almost like Queensryche. They wore it. They wore it early live. They went up for a show, in San Francisco. They got heckled for it. They never lived it down, but it actually shows up on the photo shoot. So they just look really weird. They just don't look like the Slayer guys when you put a little bit of black eyeliner on them. They look pretty ridiculous. But, this looks pretty rocking for 1983, and it looks very Venom-like almost as well. But yeah, not a, and the big white tom-toms of Dave's there, and ugly guitars. I don't know what kind of guitar that is.
Well,
but
looks like a BC Rich and
yeah. So yeah, it's not a good look. And then my next one is Skyhook's Ego Is Not a Dirty Word in the gatefold. Actually, I have a different one here. This is the one I have. Maybe this is because it's Canada's. So that's my front cover.
Yeah.
But the picture of the band is this notorious picture.
Oh, no. I couldn't find that one.
Yeah, that's about as bad as you can get, kind of thing, right? So,
that's like the winner so far.
So we don't have Peter here to defend the band, but yeah, so that's really bad. And then I had a couple other Skyhooks out. This is they're cleaned up, but they look like they've all got COVID or something.
Is that John Holmes on the right?
No. Oh yeah, pretty brutal.
That's him.
And then but and then later on, so getting into the 80s, they've got a little bit of that kind of city boy cleaned up glam look. But this exercise of pulling out the Skyhook stuff made me play all these albums again, and don't like them very much. I like them a little bit later on, and then it got me playing all the Split Enz stuff again, and that I liked quite a bit more. So I think I've decided, all my years and years of trying to like Skyhooks, don't really like Skyhooks. It's got a little bit of that sort of deaf school cabaret attitude towards it. It's a little comedic. Even the shot of the band on the front there, it's got the whole, I don't know, maybe someone's picked Max Webster, but this reminds me of the notorious Max Webster cover that I didn't pick because I think somebody else was.
So Martin, is that the Canadian pressing?
I suppose it, yeah. Let me see here. No, it's a U.S. pressing.
Oh, I'll be darned.
Of Ego Is Not a Dirty Word.
All right, well,
that one is Ego Is Not a Dirty Word too? Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's weird. Yep. No, that's what it looks like. It is US. So that is my first three. Let's see what else we've got over here. We got Celtic Frost Cold Late, says Kyle McNeil. Absolutely. That's a great example. They never lived down that chute either, or that album. Van Halen 84. I don't know, Nathan. I think they look all right in that one. Let's see. Angel Ripper's Bowl Cut on Sodoms and the Sign of Evil EP. Nice one, Count Ralphus. Good to see the count here. Yeah, over to Grant.
Here we go. Let me find myself. Okay, here we go. All right, this one, I don't know. This just kind of popped into my head, but I don't think the band looks all that good. But there are a lot of questionable photos from this band because I really don't think they really cared a whole hell of a lot. But I'm going to go with the Rolling Stones Through the Past Darkly. You've got Brian Jones doing the thing on. They've got their noses all up and making an impression on the glass. And I don't know. They're not a great looking band anyway, but they're definitely good looking here. So I don't think that's all that great. And now this one, I've based this off of, I do believe Martin has chosen, I don't know. I might want to wait till when Martin, no, I'm going to go. I'm going to do it. Because I know this band's going to come up. But this record was like their covers record that they did a couple years ago. And I'm looking at the album cover and I'm still amazed that they used this for the cover. So you've got Deep Purple. Now, come on, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
No offense. I think this is great, but I just don't think it's well executed. And I don't think the band looked all that great here.
Yeah, it's like they said, okay, we're not even going to try to look young. We just want to look old and ragged, like we've been, out drinking all night. We got arrested.
It looks like DUI pictures.
I mean, Roger looked like he just crept out of the.
Yeah.
Well,
I've never seen Ian's hair like that. I mean, Ian's hair, it never kind of sticks out like that, right?
But I just don't.
Yeah.
I don't know who thought this was a good idea. And we all know that Deep Purple has looked a lot better than that.
And you saw the announcement, new Deep Purple album called =1 coming out in July.
Well,
trying to get my interviews for Goldmine. Yeah.
I'm hoping that Bob Ezrin's back in the saddle to produce it, because I think they've got something with Bob. They're producing their recent stuff. All right. So this is my number 3 is probably low hanging fruit, but yet no one on the panel picked it. And I'm going to go with Black Sabbath Sabotage, because
we saved it for you.
Let's be quite honest, ladies and gentlemen.
Although I think Ozzy looks great in that picture.
Yeah, he looks all right.
Yeah.
Well, he might as well be wearing clogs the way he looks. I don't think Ozzy looks all that great. He kind of looks like Mama Cass. May she rest in peace. But I don't think everybody else looks particularly good. Maybe
Bill looks like Mama Cass too.
Yeah, there's a lot of Mama Cass going on here, but it is what it is.
She was popular.
Well, she was dead by this time.
True.
But I have nothing against Mama Cass, but I just don't think this is well executed. Definitely Black Sabbath has looked better. So that's my number 3.
Nice. All right. Over to Jamie.
All right, Jamie.
All right, you got to pick that low-hanging fruit every once in a while. When you have like 8, I'm like, where am I going to get 2 more? The hell with it. I'm going with low-hanging fruit. Love Beach, where are you?
Okay.
Yeah, Prince has looked cool many times on album covers, but this is just, it's too much Prince and one eyeful.
You could have picked Dirty Mind, but you didn't pick that.
No, because he actually makes Dirty Mind work in a way in that Speedo. Here, it's just like, oh no, I'm nude. And it just doesn't work.
It looks like they just switched the heads from the Notorious Scorpions Virgin Killer album cover.
Oh no. Oh no.
Well, it does.
Well, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
another album I don't own. This next one I own is, Elton John has some album covers that aren't winners, but for some reason, this one always bothered me the most. Caribou.
Oh,
it's just bad.
I hate that.
It's like they were doing a photo shoot, and he had some cool poses that he was doing, and this was just like in the middle. What should I do next? And they took the "What should I do next" photo and used it.
Yeah,
it's just one step away from. I mean,
yeah. Oh, this is really fun, guys. Yeah. That's what we're using.
But think about it. Elton was still on that winning streak. Why would they throw something out like, I don't understand. It's like they didn't try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It probably would have worked better as like from a chest up type of thing.
I'm going to betray my lack of Elton John knowledge, but what is the one where it's just his big headshot wearing the hat, sepia tone, brown and white photo on the cover? What album is that?
Brown
is that
white.
Honky Chateau?
Yeah, I think so. That one doesn't look good either, I don't think.
Yeah, where he's like looking to the side and down.
I think so, yeah.
Well, it is what it is, but not good. Not good.
All right, so we brought up Motley Crue last week, and they were pretty metal on Shot the Devil. And then Girls, they were like biker guys. and then Dr. Feelgood, they kind of had that getting more mature hair metal look to them, you know, and hair metal bands got a little bit more mature. But on Theater of Pain, when they brought out the scarves and all that jazz, and the scarf over the mouth, and Vince Neil's hair is looking pink and everything, it's just probably the worst and the most hairbandy they ever looked.
And you know, Jamie, the thing that again, like these pictures are so important, because that album is not particularly any glammier than Girls, Girls, Girls is, right?
No,
they're pretty
think
much
it's awful.
interchangeable songs. But yet, you know, that got, because of the front cover too, and the color of the front cover, they got really branded as, oh, they've gone glam kind of thing. But you know,
yeah.
It's got one great song on that. I just always think City Boy Blues is one of the coolest songs they ever did.
Yes. I always said for every great Motley Crue song, there's 7 sucky ones. I will say it's in a box set of cassettes that came out on a record store day a few years ago.
Oh, wow.
And these morons, what they did is it's Dr. Feelgood all the way to Too Fast for Love, or I should say in reverse. Mm-hmm. They put a magnet in the front so it stays closed.
And it erased all the tapes.
What happens when you put a magnet next to tape? So everyone who bought this for, you know, like $52, everyone's Too Fast for Love is wiped out. There's no music on it.
Man,
that is classic.
It's like warped. It goes.
Those are just for looking at. They're not for playing.
You know, some 28-year-old designed this, not knowing. Or 32-year-old.
Some 28-year-old designed it,
and they didn't know. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Oh my God! You know what I did? I streamed the album and taped it onto the tape back onto.
That's hardcore.
You don't have it on CD. Yeah. You have that on CD.
The first album I have on vinyl. I don't have it on CD. No, I have it on vinyl.
I know a buddy has got like an early version of that. What did it originally? It was an independent release, right? Originally, when it came out, before it came out on Elektra.
Yeah, briefly. Yeah, Too Fast for Love. Yeah,
I think I know somebody who's got one of those.
Leather Records. Yeah.
Was that 3?
Yes, yeah, that was 3.
I think so. All right, let's take a quick look at the. Hang on, let me move this mic forward so I can reach forward here. So we got Aldebaran 4, The Monkees, More of the Monkees, a J.C. Penney's photo shoot stuck.
Almost picked that
album cover. Yeah. Brainstorm, Smile a While, Almost Human. I thought you would go with the red rocker jumpsuit. I mean, okay, let's go back here. Oh yeah, Vinnie Vincent Invasion. Absolutely. There you go. Yeah, good to see Ralph here. Yeah. Pantera, I Am the Night. Yeah, that's a classic one. Kiss Asylum, I put that in my honorable mentions, but yeah, that's a good one for that. Elton John Cocaine Outfit mentions Elder of Rock. The Westerns is bad too. Maybe that's the one I was thinking of, kind of thing. But all right, what do we got? Iggy Pop, Lust for Life. Yeah, so that's a pretty funny one too. Also, The Idiot, right? Those two are both pretty weird. Bob Dylan,
The Idiot is so bad.
Ashley Geisley. Yeah, it's pretty funny. Jethro Tull, The Zealot Gene. Okay, so let's see. That was who? That was Jamie, right?
Yeah.
So up to Todd. Yeah.
All right, Todd.
All right. Well, there are probably people that like this. I don't like this. This is Elvis Costello, King of America. I mean, when you've got a great iconic look like Elvis has, I don't know why you would deconstruct it like this, but you know, there are probably some people that like it. Back cover is even worse.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
The back cover looks a little bit more awkward than the front.
Because you can see the whole hat. It's the more the hat you see, the worse it is.
Yeah, I never quite understood that.
I just think with that album, and of course that's such a great Elvis Costello album, you would just, I don't know.
Well, he had made a couple of kind of slick albums, and he wanted to rough things up a little bit. So I kind of get what he was going for, but I don't think it worked for him. Now this next one, you really have to look close at this. This is the back cover of Daryl Hall and John Oates' War Babies, produced by Todd Rundgren. It's got Willie Wilcox on it. But if you look up here,
do you have the inner sleeve for that?
Yeah. See, there's like Daryl Hall's got like a cigarette in his mouth, and it's like, I think that's the worst they've ever looked.
Yeah.
On the original pressing, it's got the inner sleeve, and it's got a picture of it big on the inside.
You're right. Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that is brutal. That is brutal.
So
Man, John Oates looks like Gino Vanelli.
he does.
Every
Yeah,
time I
he
think
does.
I've seen every Hall & Oates album, you guys always bust out another one that I've never seen.
Well, that's
Daryl-
the one. That's the
Daryl
one
looks like
Todd Rundgren
Sissy
produced.
Spacek on that one.
He does. Yeah.
Chrissy
You know, I
Spacek.
usually look. They've got a lot of really cheesy pictures of themselves, but I even think that the cheesy, fun ones are pretty good. They actually look pretty good in them, but that one not so much. And then this one. I mean, I understand the
This is
concept
bad.
that they, you know, unsung heroes, they don't sing, so their mouths are taken away. But why are they standing in front of Venetian blinds? I mean, it is black and white. Did they have like zero budget for this?
Well, it's the dregs. Did they ever sell anything?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then this guy. I mean, it's just
Hey, we see that guy later.
Yeah.
Don't we?
what do you mean?
Is it one of Martin's picks?
No, I don't think so. No.
Or it might be a Jamie pick.
It's funny though.
No.
So they just black out his face. They white out everybody
Yeah.
else's face, and they just black out his face.
Yeah,
no,
well, he's got the
it's
beard.
a Martin
So.
pick. If it, tell me if this. When we get to it, I'm going to bring it up because I think it's the same guy in the middle.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Well, we'll see.
I don't want to reveal that I don't know which guy that is. So.
He's the bass player of the Dregs, I think.
Oh,
I
well,
think he
Andy
was in
West.
I think it's Andy West, but
Okay.
I think Andy's in another band that Martin pulled, but I could be wrong.
I don't know.
I didn't
Not
research it.
Not
so
sure. So was that 3?
That was 3.
That was
Okay,
three.
all right. So my next pick is Yes Drama. So I thought this was an interesting pick because the front cover is so amazing, right? It's a really beautiful Roger Dean with these muted colors and stuff, and then they've got this bizarre, kind of like takes the seriousness out of things shot. They got their arms up. There's all these reflections and blurriness all over the place, right on their faces and stuff. Don't know what they're going for here, or what the deal is. I don't know. Is there some sort of deep significance? Does this have something to do with Into the Lens, perhaps?
I don't know, but
Where's Rand at, for God's sake?
I've always thought it was funny that the person that looks like he's having the most fun is Steve Howe.
And
which
he
is
always
unusual.
looks miserable.
Yeah, which
Right.
usually has the least fun. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just a bad shot, bad use of a gatefold too, right?
Well, and you'd think in 1980 you got those 2 young guys joining them that they'd have a picture where they look great.
Yeah.
And that's not what they have.
It's really washed. Everything's out of focus and really washed out and stuff too.
It looks like it was shot on a Kodak Instamatic.
Yeah, it's like Into the Lens, but there's trouble with the lens. It's a busted
Yeah.
lens or something. Okay, so my next one is Joe Perry Project.
Oh,
Once a
God.
rocker,
Oh,
always
this
a
is
rocker.
horrible.
Oh my God.
What the hell happened to Joe Perry?
I'll show them closer, believe me. So yeah, this is that whole so absolute classic first album, pretty
Oh.
darn good second album. The wheels fall right off on this album. Not good at all. We've got Mock Bell, Cowboy Mock Bell here from Thunder Train in on vocals. Joe Pett and Danny Hargrove. I don't know who they are, but so Joe looks good.
Made
I think.
up.
Joe looks good there. Joe looks pretty good there. Mock Bell, on the other hand,
He looks like Kaja Gugu.
yeah. So this is
Or
kind
George
of like,
Lynch's dumber brother.
I hope Grant that you got my Ricky Medlock and Blackfoot right, because I don't have a copy of that, but I'm gonna compare it.
But
in a
that's
second.
where we're going to talk about, what's his name again?
Oh, okay.
Andy West.
All right. So so then we've got Joe Pett there holding the flowers, looking like a cross between the Fonz and Andrew Dice Clay. And then we've got this guy down here. So the idea, it's kind of a deliberate aesthetic. It's kind of like a gypsy rock and roll aesthetic kind of thing that they're going for. But those 3 guys are all kind of rocking this different, and it's almost like a little bit like the Gillan band, where everybody is semi playing a character in a way, right? But just the album is not conceptual or even good in any way. It's just and I hate that title, Once a Rocker, Always a Rocker, these long titles that Joe had.
What?
Oh.
I'm just curious, Martin, since we're
Yeah.
talking about this record, I am so glad you brought up Joe Perry Project. What happened on this record? Because that first album is so good.
Yeah.
And then it just fell apart. I
Well,
don't know
and
what
it's a couple years in between, and there's a label change, and there's drugs and all that kind of stuff, and
Oh,
people
the
coming in and
drugs.
out of the band. What's his name? The singer. Oh, what is his name? The great singer on the first album.
The first one.
He had a real drinking problem. What is his name? I can't believe I'm zoning out on his name.
Jamie's gonna go look.
Yeah, was he from Humble Pie? No, obviously it's not
maybe.
Steve Marriott. What is his name?
Someone in the comments. Who was the first singer on Joe Perry Project?
Great singer. Yeah.
Quick. Someone.
Great album. Mormon, is it?
What is it?
It's not Ralph Mormon.
Yes,
Ralph
it is.
Mormon.
And I'll tell you a funny story. I had lunch with David Krebs, the manager of Aerosmith in New York City at a diner. And he told me that basically the Joe Perry Project was put together because Joe ran up a $75,000 room service tab on the previous Aerosmith tour. And he had to do some work to pay off his hotel tab, which is pretty funny. Okay, so my second choice is Ricky, Medlock, and Blackfoot.
Okay.
Self-titled.
Now look, the guy in the middle, isn't that Andy West?
Well, it could be. That was the standard, either the keyboard player or the bass player had to have that.
Yeah, had that look, short hair, receding hairline.
Pulled out to you. You got the beret going, you got the glasses, the beard. It was always either the bass player or the keyboards. But the funny thing about this cover, so this again, it's a very similar story, and you've got Blackfoot. And then the wheels start falling off Blackfoot and they start fighting. And now the only guy left is Ricky Medlock. And he even has to rename the band Ricky Medlock and Blackfoot. So it also has a little bit of that same Joe Perry Project, gypsy chic kind of look. Everybody's from a different sort of, we're all playing a different character here kind of thing. It's like a ragtag army of rock and rollers kind of put together. So I've always, ever since I was a kid, like I thought these two albums kind of went together, and they're both horrible albums, right? At the same time. Okay, so that's my third choice. Let's just see what's going on in the comments here. Let's see, we've got pretty much the story of Keith. Two sides of the moon, then everyone ran up a big liquor tab. Oh, Chrome Destiny, yeah, mentioning that. Yeah, very cool. Love Savoy Brown, ranking Sunday, my friend. Logan Collins, one Logan. Let's see, Ted Nugent, Little Miss Dangerous, yeah. Mormons mess up everything, says Kyle. Nice one. Rick Labonte's here. Awesome. Good to see Rick.
Hey.
Let's see. Rex. Well, yeah, you're going to see some Rex coming up. That's actually one of my picks. Rod Stewart's greatest hits. All right, over to Grant.
All right, here we go. Let me scroll up. Okay, well, I've already teased everyone with this, but for God's sake, how could I not pick this? Because this is absolutely hideous. Man of War.
Right.
And I don't know anything about this photo shoot or where it came from, but it came out on the anthology. And
I don't know if they look worse. They always look bad. So it's just
right.
Well, I'd like to see them do it now.
Yeah.
They would look much worse, but I just don't think it's in good taste. That's all.
There's a shot of them all on motorcycles that I think they look really cool. I can't remember what that was used for, but they look pretty cool there. And yeah, this is just that this quasi half Viking, half whatever, half modern clothes look, all mixed together kind of thing,
right? I
right?
think it's bad. Now this band, well, I don't know if this is really a band. I guess it's a band, but I don't know if we've talked about this before. Maybe Todd picked this a long time ago, but it popped up into when I was trying to find some records, and it's questionable that this band ever really looked good, but there is one record that they put out toward the end of their career when they were done. But the Village People Renaissance.
Somebody mentioned that in the comments.
Right.
Okay. But oh my goodness, what's happening here?
And what does that remind you of? Hint, Casablanca Records, right?
Yeah. I think this was still
Kiss cleaned up kind of the same way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Short the hair and the costumes and stuff, right?
But I miss that construction worker when I look at this.
Yeah. Which one's the cowboy? Is he still there?
That fourth guy looks a little bit like Elder era Paul Stanley with the headband. Is that what I'm seeing there?
Yeah.
A little bit of Misfits going on here too.
Yeah, some Misfits.
It looks like the Misfits.
And I was thinking, you spin me round, baby, round, like a record.
And if I remember correctly,
Alive,
back in the day, wasn't this one of those records that would turn up in the cutout bins?
Yeah.
This failed. This did not do anything.
It was a different label, I think, too.
Was it a different label?
I think so.
I
Right.
don't know. All right, so my third one. Oh, this was a bad one. The band Steam. Well, they're getting steam.
In a steam
Yeah.
bath.
Nah,
Yeah.
nah, nah. What is that? Kiss, nah,
Yeah.
nah, hey, hey. Kiss Him Goodbye was their only claim to fame. But this is a notorious album, and I don't know if they've ever looked good. Hell, I don't know what they did after this. But who thought that this was a good idea? These guys don't look good like this.
You know who didn't think it was a good idea? The photographer, because it ruined all his equipment.
Right.
And look at, none of these guys in the picture look particularly happy.
No,
Well, the guy in the
I think they're happy.
the
with it.
upper left kind of looks happy, but he's the only one. So anyway, I just happened to stumble
Imagine having a
across-
really huge hit and that being your album cover.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the reason it failed miserably. So.
Yeah. Crazy.
All right, that was my third one.
All right. Quick look here. Rick Labonte has mentioned Alice Cooper Easy Action album cover. They look
I
pretty
kind of
rough.
like Easy Action.
Yeah, I thought they looked okay on that. Let's see what else we got here. Raspberries cover where they're wearing high school. Yeah, I should have brought bread. Remember we were talking about bread the other day, man.
Oh
bread,
my
bread.
God, everyone, you missed it.
Bread looks
Martin was on a bread rampage.
Yeah, we were commenting in the comments. It's like,
It's a deep point I was making. You know, the idea of like what makes you. You know, I was saying like what makes a gang of 20-year-old guys turn out and make that kind of music. And I was saying like, you know what, they went to work to work with Dad Day to the insurance office, and the guy looked around and said, I love this place, I love your coworkers, how do you capture this feeling in a band? Bread, right?
There you go, Logan. Bread.
but yeah, just the whole idea of like, oh, and thinking.
Yeah, but think about David Gates.
brown
He's doing
suit.
all those slow songs about
Oh
love.
my God.
Probably all the women that were in the audience were swooning for him.
Well, that's the thing, you know, and the same with like Justin Timberlake and all those dance things. It's like you must have done it for the gals, because what would make guys make a band like Bread? I just don't understand, right? And then it's like, okay, did you come from this really strict household and you just went along with everything your parents said, and you just said, you know what, I really want to please my parents and make parents music.
Martin's on the rant again. I
know.
love it.
Sorry.
No, it's fun. It's great.
Extreme first album. Yeah, that's a good one. Crocus the Blitz, Bandanas. I mean, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
so-
well, yeah, we could have done this whole show on bands from non-Western countries, especially, man, Eastern European and Russian album covers. Holy moly. You want to see some howlers.
Yeah, we could have done a ton of those. But
Anyways, where were we?
Oh, so good. I guess is it me? Wait a minute. No, it's Martin. You're up, I think.
Am
No,
I
I
up?
think we're on our last round. Starting.
all right.
I'm up. So
Okay.
Aerosmith.
Oh,
wait,
Martin.
wait.
We got to go. Me, Todd, you, and Grant, and we're done.
Okay. Whew. We get on this
Right?
these tangents. Yeah, I think we're right. Yeah.
Grant just went with the steam.
I couldn't
Okay,
even
all right.
remember.
All right, real quick, because I got to get going.
We're good.
Vinny
Yeah, we're
Dombrowski.
running out of time. Go.
Go.
Vinny Dombrowski is pretty much Sponge and anyone around him. When he did this album for all the drugs in the world, I think he could have picked a better picture of himself. You know, he kind of has that Bowie, Iggy Pop look about him. He has a
Bauhaus.
bad picture and a bad angle.
Done.
This one, hey, Low Hanging Fruit, Mr. Wonderful. By I don't think anyone ever looked worse on any album cover ever
Yeah.
than Nick Fleetwood on Mr. Wonderful.
Yeah.
And I brought up Lou Reed last week. He can look really cool on Coney Island Baby. He looks like he should be in the movie Cabaret.
He
Yeah.
does.
You know,
He looks
somebody
like
in the-
Leo Sayer.
yeah, I was
Yeah,
just going to say somebody in the
exactly.
comments mentioned Leo Sayer, and that's what he looks like on there.
Exactly.
I was thinking he looks like he should be dancing behind Liza Minnelli.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
And
Well,
here's
over
my
to Todd. Oh,
here's my big finish.
okay.
Okay.
Garth Brooks.
Oh,
Does
yeah.
he ever look cool? Well, how about when he changed his name to Chris Gaines and said, I'm a cool rocker and I'm going to do this album as Chris Gaines and like do this Bowie type thing. Oh, Garth, just be Garth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, over to Todd.
Okay. So beloved album, and there are probably people who like this back cover. But this is ELO Face the Music. And we had another one earlier where people had their faces smushed up against glass. And
Rolling Stone, same thing.
Here we have a repeat of that. No, not one of my faves. I've always disliked this McCartney too.
Yeah.
Now I don't know why, that's not the cover. I mean, I can't really figure that out, but yeah, not one of my favorites. And I hate to pick on the Nets guys because I love them so much, but Men at Work, I'll try to zoom in on this.
Yeah, you have to zoom
like
in.
A couple of them look like they're at work, and a couple of them just I don't know what they're doing.
One guy
really
sweeping.
Sure. What's one guy sweeping, but Greg Ham has his saxophone. Is that his job? Is that what he does for work? Well, it is his job, but yeah, that's the front cover is for a different album cover show. But I saved my favorite for last.
Oh,
Everybody, this is
Utopia.
Oops, wrong planet.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody looks like they're on heroin.
Looks a bit like the Deep Purple album cover from
Yeah,
nice
sure
looking
does.
guys looking. I mean, how can Chasm Sultan take a bad picture? Well, that's how. And then you've got the inside,
He's emaciated.
which is this right here.
Yeah.
So yeah, same thing. I'm not sure what they were going for, but
Yeah. Cool.
one of my least favorites.
All right, so my last four. So Get Your Wings. I never liked this album cover. This always looked kind of like grimy and creepy and scary. It's just like dark and black. It just dawned on me. This album is a rival for AC/DC Back in Black, for an album that is made to look or feel way darker than it is because of the album cover. This with a bright, happy album cover would have just completely changed the complexion of those songs, because they're great songs and it's pretty up-tempo rock and roll. But that album cover, never liked it. My next choice is Deep Purple, Shades of Deep Purple. We talked about this kind of look before, especially Ritchie Blackmore. That's obviously where Geddy Lee got his 80s hair from. Ritchie's hair here.
They all have perms.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they're all two of them are almost like afros kind of
They're
thing.
like
Yeah, this is the, and then the frilly John Lord thing on. So this is looking with that whole Edwardian thing. But yeah, they look absolutely ridiculous in this. And then Budgie Bandolier back cover. This is an album I bought based on this as just out of the racks in Spokane one trip. That looked so awesome. I thought this could be a heavy band, but Budgie, but Bandolier. But then again, they made the type in metal sort of thing. But the back, they look absolutely, Tony looks like a country band here.
I thought it was the Outlaws for a second.
Yeah, they just absolutely look like a country band completely, right? The way they're dressed, everything about them. It does not look heavy. Even the song titles are not heavy. I took a risk. It turned out to be heavy enough. And here's what they look like on the back of the first album. So basically,
All right, they look better there. That's for sure.
This is 1971, granted. But, you get the Geddy Lee look there, right? And then, and they're a power trio, right? They're heavy like Rush, power trio, Geddy Lee, all that. So blah, blah, blah. And my last choice is Rex. Love this band to death. Rex on the front cover, looks pretty cool. That's all right. You can't do, but then, dressing up all in red for the red photo shoot just doesn't cut it for me. The haircuts are a little polite. They look like a boy band, or they're going to be a pop band or whatever. But of course, we all know that this is a heavy rock and Aerosmith, Ted Nugent type album. It's basically the whole thing's heavy, heavy enough, right, for the 70s and for an American band. But yeah, I bought this as a new release, having seen the band live backing up Ted Nugent. My first big concert ever, 1976. Rex was the sport band. And Rex was doing flips on stage. He had his little trampoline thing and all that stuff. And they were great. They did this. They did another album. Then he became Rex Smith after that. So my honorable mentions, I had Kiss Asylum. We know that look. The whole that thing. Never liked this. I know I brought this up in a previous show, but there's the Damned all in their character mode with a terrible, terrible washed out photo of them walking around New York City. And then never liked the Bowie glam look. You know how I've always railed against Ziggy Stardust and this whole perm mullet thing, or mullet. Never liked that whole thing. So those are my honorable mentions.
All right, cool. All right. Well, now everybody, come on. Everybody here loves Alice Cooper, but this is not good Alice Cooper. Now, someone had mentioned the first album? No, this is bad Alice Cooper right here. Let me just make sure we all are on the same page.
Reminds me of that Village People one, actually.
He could fit right in with the Village People. And what was this? Flush the Fashion? Yeah, so not a good era anyway for him. But not a good picture. Come on. This one, this band was always questionable because I remember back in the day the video to this song, the video to Balls to the Wall. When we were young, we'd see it pop up on Friday night videos or on Night Flight, and we would just laugh. At
how they're all in unison.
But the inside, I couldn't get this big enough. But this is the inside spread of that. Well, Balls to the Wall album, and I don't think kind of looks like Orleans, but
yeah.
But Udo, he's fully clothed. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But we used to laugh watching Accept all the time. They just made us laugh.
Yeah.
All right, this one's kind of goes with what Martin said, and this is Kiss. This is off of Crazy Nights. Now, I wish I could really blow this up because Paul Stanley's got like that. What is he wearing? Like a. For one, he's all hairy. The other, which is okay, but his underwear's sticking out. I just don't think that's good. His mother would see that and say, "Paul, put your underwear back."
That's a pretty good photo of Gene, though, I have to say.
Yeah.
Gene looks all right.
Gene looks all right.
Yeah.
And
they've
think
toned down the clothes at this point a little bit. So
Yeah.
a little bit, but the Paul Stanley look though.
Yeah.
And is that a wig on Paul Stanley at this point?
Oh, how does that work? I don't know the exact story or exact answer to that.
I don't know.
Kind of like Kevin DeBrow.
Well, Kevin DeBro's a whole different
Kevin
thing.
DeBrow.
His was so obvious, but
Yeah.
that's a lot of hair for Paul, so I don't know if that's real or not. Anyway, so my final one is just, I can't believe I even picked this, but I'm picking it because it's just such a bizarre picture. And the fact that this band is a band, I just can't believe it. But this particular back cover of the Plasmatics, the guy with the blonde hair, I don't know. And then you got this other guy in a trench coat with a dog. And then you've got this guy, I just think they just look so odd. Don't you think they look kind of odd?
Which album is that again, Grant?
One of the last ones. I didn't write it down. I've got it. It's where, what's her name? Wendy Williams is on a tank.
Oh, okay. I can't remember the name of it.
But I don't know. I just think it looks odd. They look like the most unlikely band on the planet.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Just weird.
All right, just a quick look at the comments here. We got a few minutes. We got John Patterson, the police, the Roxanne EP with Stuart Copeland picking his nose. I can't picture that
that's
one.
it, the Elder. There you go.
Kevin Rowlands, ex-Dexy's Midnight Runners, My Beauty. Let's see. We've got Dada as a Masterpiece. Birth Control, Hoodoo Man. Yeah, I can picture the front cover. I can't picture what the band looks like in that one, but Cooper Blackout Period is awesome, says Logan Collins. Alice Cooper, the accountant look. Jefferson Starship Spitfire back cover and inner sleeve. Prince first album cover kind of creepy. Let's see, John Lennon Unfinished Music volumes 1 and 2, or 2 versions. Let's see, the Rex cover doesn't look too bad. Let's see, Saw Them Live 2, says Dark Wizard Room. David Bowie Never Let Me Down. Yeah, it's a bad look.
Yeah.
Absolutely, John Lower to the
Is that the one where he's coming at you like that?
Yeah.
I'm not sure what's going on with Bowie during that era.
Yeah. Grand Funk Survival, it's not good. You know, another not good one is the Aerosmith Night in the Ruts with them all as miners. That one looks terrible, right? That would be a good choice.
John Lord with the puffy shirt.
Yeah, Your Wings looks like a ripoff of Love It to Death, says Chrome Destiny. That is a really neat point. That is kind of cool. It does look like that. Yeah.
Oh my God, it's very close.
Pretty neat. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, Grant, wrap her up.
All right, everybody. Thanks, everybody in the chat. Holy crap, we had a lot of people here tonight.
Yeah.
And that's what we like. We like to keep it interactive. We like to hear what you have to say. And we just do this because hopefully we can turn you onto this stuff. I don't know. It's just fun talking album covers and just music in general. So, what do we have on the channel next? God only knows, but there's stuff coming out all the time. We do have Patreon. We could join that. A lot of great discussions there. We have there. Merch. We have merch down below. Buy a t-shirt or a sweatshirt. We'd love that. And we also have a Ko-fi. Buy us a pint or a cup of coffee. We'd like that too. And we also like donations. We like money. But we just do this because we like to talk music. Yep. So anyway, like I said, what's next? I don't know.
I got to get ready for my next show.
Look at him. He's getting dressed here, ladies and gentlemen. So you should
on the fly.
He's here on the fly. So anyway, we'll wrap this up. We'll see you next week. I'm not sure what the topic is, but we should be back next week. So we'll see you. Good night, everybody.
All right. Thanks, everybody.